It's Week 18 of the NFL, and we have Amon-Ra St. Brown on center stage. Big plays follow him around. He comes in second in the NFL in receiving yards. It's the Lions and the Vikings, and it's coming up next.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, things haven't gone exactly according to plan at this point. But boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And we are underway from Ford Field. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. Here's a 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Goff. Rolling to his right. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. A first carry now for Craig Reynolds. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll go again with Reynolds. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offense.
And in for the Lions, touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Slot man moves right. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
This complete to Jones. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Sliding out of the pocket.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Lions had 8 and 8 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Goff, eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Goff now to throw. Touchdown! Amon-Ra St. Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll go out of bounds all the way down inside the 35.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
To the air with McCarthy. And that's going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Now, maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
David Montgomery and the Lions about set to begin this next series.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Here's 2nd and 3.
Goff now looks to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. They'll roll him out right.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Open man. He's got Jefferson across the formation.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now McCarthy.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's McCarthy.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
McCarthy going to throw again. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
It's hard to be surprised at the miss there with the way this first half has gone. Here they were hoping to get some sort of momentum to carry them into the locker room, but even this.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5.
And now this will be the final play of the half, as with no time remaining, they'll try and add 2 more to the lead right before intermission. A final shot before break here. Goff. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead as that game approaches halftime. Josh Jacobs with both of their touchdowns thus far as he scored twice on the ground. From there, we head south to Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Commanders. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. The Texans trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gaudin.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season is gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. On play action, now McCarthy.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Out of the shotgun is Jones. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Aleem McNeil drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll kick it away for the second time. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
The Lions offense and receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And he's very much alive in the race for most receiving yards by a wideout this year. Currently ranked 2nd in the NFL at this point in the season. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
From the end zone, Goff.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw now in his own end zone.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the 1st down. Here we go on 4th. Goff being chased out left. And they work this out past the 25. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
Off play action. Here's Goff. He'll buy some time right. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff.
That is incomplete. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Goff now looking to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Goff and that Lions offense staying on the field. They'll try for 2. Try to run it in with Montgomery.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
On play action, McCarthy. He lets one go deep for Addison.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw.
McCarthy over the middle and complete to Addison.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
That's caught downfield by Addison. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Throwing again, McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. And Jordan Addison, the intended receiver.
That'll bring up 2nd down.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And his throw here is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Going for it, here's McCarthy. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it, and the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season, and in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down. Running for it, Montgomery. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now it's gone.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Goff going to throw it out to his left. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Goff now to throw.
He'll let this go deep for St. Brown.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
This one caught over the middle. It's Oliver, the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
To the air with McCarthy.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
They need 12 here. It's third down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have Fighting through, and he's got space. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. 2nd and 10.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're
well timed there, and now 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Middle of the field to Jefferson.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, what a second half the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Detroit,
they finish above 500 for the year. The final tally 9-8.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Vikings,
this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-13 campaign.
And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around.